In the annals of history, few kingdoms reached the heights of Israel. It was a land of promise, forged in the fires of struggle and faith. Before the peace came the warrior. King David, a man whose life was defined by the sword and the song, secured the borders of this nation. With a final victory, David planted the banner of a united people into the earth, setting the stage for an era of unprecedented prosperity. The era of the sword ended, giving way to the era of the mind. The transition from father to son was a transition from war to wisdom. Enter Solomon, the wisest king to ever live. His throne was a seat of judgment and learning, drawing the eyes of the entire world toward Jerusalem. Under his guidance, the kingdom flourished. Gold flowed like water, and the very stones of the city seemed to shimmer with divine favor and human effort. From the corners of the earth, seekers of truth and merchants of luxury traveled across vast deserts to witness the glory of Solomon's reign. But wisdom is a fragile flame. In the midst of abundance, the heart can wander, seeking comfort in places it was never meant to go. The king took many wives from foreign lands, bringing with them their own customs, their own beliefs, and their own gods. Slowly, the incense of strange altars began to cloud the king's vision. The pure light of the temple was replaced by the flickering shadows of idols. A shadow fell over the throne as Solomon turned away from the foundations of his father. The spiritual integrity of the kingdom began to fail. The consequences of compromise are not always immediate, but they are certain. A subtle fracture began to appear in the very heart of the palace. In the secret corners of the city, whispers of judgment began to stir. A prophet arrived with a message that would haunt the king's final days. The prophet illustrated a grim future. The kingdom would be torn apart like a garment, divided and weakened by the choices of its leaders. Solomon, once the symbol of hope, was now a man weighed down by regret and the heavy toll of his own drifting heart. When the great king finally passed, the crown fell to his son, Rehoboam. But the son possessed neither the heart of David nor the wisdom of Solomon. The people pleaded for relief from the heavy burdens of the past. The elders of the court, wise and grey, urged the new king toward mercy. But Rehoboam listened instead to the voices of the young and the arrogant. They craved power and control, mistaking cruelty for strength. The king's reply was a hammer blow to the unity of the nation. He promised even greater burdens, choosing pride over the well-being of his subjects. The pride of one man broke the heart of a nation. The tribes that had once stood together as brothers now turned their backs on one another. The division was complete. A kingdom that could have ruled for ages was severed, a tragic monument to the dangers of pride and disobedience. Let this be a warning to all who lead and all who follow. What wisdom takes generations to build, pride can destroy in a single moment. Seek the path of the humble, for in humility there is strength, and in wisdom there is life. Never turn away from the foundations of truth.